Hello everybody, how are we doing? It's been a minute. I've not been very active for multiple reasons. That's what I would like to discuss today. There's many things on my mind, many things. Um, so I don't know what the best way to start it is. I guess at least personally for me and my channel and what I'm trying to do, my goals and my self-actualization, or the vision that I've been fucking talking about for like 2 years, full blast. What's going on with the whole scene, with the whole shtick, What's happening? So, recently, naturally, I've seemed to have taken a step back quite a bit from being so active on social media. I did make quite a bit of content a few months ago, and then I kind of grinded to a halt a bit, and there's multiple reasons for that. I'm still very aspirational, and don't get me wrong, service to the psychedelic community, and the personal development community, like Hamza's community. These things really reside at the center of everything like I it's my mission, essentially. Like, I like to, as a young man, just in general, it's good to just have a mission and a vision and a purpose, financially. Like, obviously, when I actualize myself in my expertise and skills, and you know the way I kind of see it is like, we're the way that Hamza speaks of it is like tribes back in the day. Obviously, everyone had their own dedicated, like, you would use your strengths to fulfill your purpose and your role in the tribe. So, like, obviously the men traditionally have more testosterone, therefore they're much better for like hunter gatherers, etc. And then the women would have different features, likely for the most part, that would make them good at other things. I heard, I think I heard from like Terence McKenna that there'd be a lot of like farming, communal farming, um, potentially for the females. But regardless, that's I'm just going off what I'm saying is like, obviously. And I'm trying to get better with speaking as well and trying to stay on track. I'm being very critical of my past self at the moment, which I'll get into, or my current self as well. The way I speak needs to improve. If I want to improve, which I do. It's a long story, we're going to get into it. But yeah, I mean, I was just saying that when I actualize my kind of role in the tribe, which will be a lot, some of the insights that I got from some recent magic mushroom experiences, is to bring insight, taking inspiration from Leo Gura of actualize.org, but just a more solid articulation of what I want to do on this channel is to bring insight forward, and particularly, of course, deep metaphysical, spiritual insights of the nature of reality and the nature of consciousness and awakening, etc. Please ignore this fucking border, by the way. Oh god. That's what I mean. I need to improve in so many areas. And I'll get more into, in a second here, the contrast of deep spirituality and metaphysics and exploring consciousness and psychedelia, etc. Contrasting that with like the grounded relative plane of personal development. I've been doing a lot of reflection on this recently. The kind of, say, Leo Gura's video, Dove's Tales, with what I'm speaking of here, called Relative versus Absolute Truth. And it seems almost though that the relative and the absolute are in like separate dimensions. And the absolute would be like deep psychedelia, present moment, awakening to absolute truth. And then the relative plane is like I done, if you search psychodonis, psychedelic, but instead of an E, psych-edelic is psych-adonis. Um, and long story short, Adonis is like Hamza's, that personal development YouTuber I referred to earlier. It's his kind of image of like the pinnacle of what we're aiming for as young men, especially to have a good physique, a good diet, to bring value to the tribe, to be strong, stoic, masculine. Obviously, if you're male, or vice versa, or he often speaks of like, you know, the modern kind of depolarized genders potentially. It's kind of, you know, it's in the kind of there seems to be a rise in masculinity again amongst the youth. A quote that he speaks of often is strong time no easy times create weak men create hard times create strong men create easy times create weak men. uh, and the psychodonis was essentially, obviously, combining psychedelics with Hamza's approach, which I don't want to go into this. This is not what this video is meant to be about, but it's about the best of both worlds. It seems like there's a disconnect. If you know, you know, then I don't mean to start the video on this particular niche, but I would very much recommend getting familiar with Alan Watts. Listen to his lectures quite a lot, and also listen to Hamza. Not because you have to believe what they're saying inherently, it's just for the contrast. Because the contrast of these two intellectuals that I've just brought forth is one of the best ways to describe the predicament that I'm trying to kind of actualize on this channel. And I do spend a lot of my time, especially at my job, which I may or may not have just not have anymore. But I got sacked basically from this job, but my boss is a fucking NPC. That's why, because he thinks he can talk to me like shit, and I don't care if you're my boss, but I'm not letting you chat to me like I'm a fucking retard. Obviously, that's not the full extent to the whole thing, but some man are eating Rustler's burgers for breakfast, and that makes them hate themselves so much that they can't help but be a cunt, because they literally spent their whole life eating Rustler's burgers for breakfast. So, and if you don't know, that's a microwave plastic burger, which I was fed as a child by my family. You know, Rustler's burgers and sugar for breakfast and that, Cocoa Pops for breakfast. And then when I was showing symptoms of like potential emotional instability or anything of that nature, I was just told I was attention seeking, and it maybe no, it's not the fucking industrial waste products in my fucking ultra processed chocolate fucking rice. What even is Rice Krispie, bro? It's literally like baked seed oil. I don't know. Look, I'm not being a victim, and I'm doing a lot of growth and introspection recently. I've got a lot to say, but I've also got a lot to do. I need to stop speaking so much, and I need to take action. I really want to revamp my entire character. I don't really want to be who I have been anymore. But yeah, about the man there eating a Rustler's burgers, that is basically the thing. It's because, as Inspector Veg said to me, he was taking a piss saying the key to enlightenment is Doritos and DMT, or dimethyltryptamine, which is obviously a very potent psychedelic, in your body now and drenched in nature, and the fucking tribes in the Amazon, these fucking, long story short, yeah, we all just think this is normal, going about our day, and then meanwhile there's like these fucking naked people in the trees with all this fucking crazy shit paint all over their, not shit, but I mean like, you know, like fucking tribal mandem, and they're up in the trees in the fucking Amazon drinking magic potions that the potion told them how to fucking use it properly, and I don't know, it's tricky stuff, but you drink this potion, yeah, and one day you literally think, oh, well, I'm born and I'm just surviving and I'm going along this 3D world, you know, I'm on Earth, and this is how it is, and you learn the ropes, and then one day you're like, all right, I've heard about this ayahuasca thing, yeah. So you go and drink this potion, and then you basically realise that you created this whole thing on purpose, and there's actually no distinction between anything. There's no such distinction of involuntary and voluntary. Actually, it's all you. It's been you the entire time. This whole fucking place is a big illusion, bro. But this is the trick. This is the tricky business, right? Because, alright, these potions, these fucking mushrooms, yeah, right, you take these, they make your brain fucking go super activated. If you look at the brain scans, it's like, this state now is like 10% interconnected. But when you look at the super mushroom scans, it's like 1,000,000% interconnected. And then that obviously results, even from a physical perspective of the universe, even if everything is just physics and atoms and stuff, right? It still super ramps up the brain, and therefore you perceive things, you know, even if everything is physical, how much can you alter that physiology, like your brain, in order for your perception to be different? Whether that is hyperventilation or meditation or exercise or fasting, there are ways to alter your consciousness by altering your physiology, as everything is connected and all distinctions collapse in the end. And I don't care if you believe me, just wait and see. Every being will discover infinite love and melt into infinite love. This is the truth. Okay, regardless of this, it's true that these things will literally make you fucking ride the neural pathways of your brain as if you're fucking driving down them on a fucking space rocket from dimethyltryptamine land, right? But the trick is while you're doing that and you realise that you're God, there's still like a relative plane somewhere, and you're going to come back to that in a minute. The way that Leo Gura speaks of it, he has a video of how psychedelics work. He speaks on, and he says they basically interfere with the dream. You're dreaming, everything is consciousness, everything is infinite mind, everything is God. And when you take the psychedelic, it like changes the metaphysics of the dream, essentially. Or the way he says it is like your normal consciousness is like a stream, and then psychedelics is like throwing a boulder into the middle of the stream, and the stream disperses. And again, even from a materialistic perspective, you know, it's still... That's what I was thinking, because like I have a problem with like the scientific stance in terms of like ideology within science, in terms of how it's quite a tricky one, but yeah, you can definitely surpass science in your understanding of the universe. You can understand that science is a part of the dream, so everything is infinite mind, and you know, you don't have to dream science, you can just dream whatever you want. So if you dreamed that you was in The Simpsons, you can dream The Simpsons on the TV, right? Or you can dream a cartoon on the TV, or GTA on the TV. So why can't you dream that without the TV? Well, the answer is you can. And you do, but you're just dreaming the TV around it. And this is the game. It's so tricky how God plays with limits like this. So no limits are necessary because we're dreaming, and if we can become lucid in the dream, then we can lucid dream now because we are dreaming. But you have to. It's like you can't just go, I'm dreaming, and then it's like if you have a full blast awakening experience where you're like directly conscious that you've been dreaming the whole fucking time, then the higher self, or you know, you like, even though there is no such distinction, but if you become so conscious, then you will encounter synchronicity, which will prove you're dreaming in your direct experience. But God might fucking... What happens in my experience is I go to the absolute, I realise I'm dreaming, I might have intense synchronicity, and things happen even in the third dimension in the relative plane that are just impossible, where the whole dream is literally collapsing. And then I come back down to the relative plane, and I have to go back to my job, and I go into work, and this fucking salty guy who's fucking eating Russ's burgers and drinking from the tap water, who's got his COVID vaccine, yeah, and he's literally connected to the satellites. He's chatting to me, and he's like, literally running into work, and first thing I get off this geezer is some salty energy, yeah, because we've got to get some tasks done, yeah. I'm like, alright, but you know, it's just easier for your soul, yeah, if you don't give me that fucking salty energy. If we can actually just get along and be mates. And it's tricky, yeah. I recorded a 20-minute video yesterday, which I do not believe I'm going to upload. I probably will. But I started it by talking about how I had lost my job, which was just recently. And it's tricky because, again, more of the facets that I'm talking about in this video here is how how I've completely destroyed my reputation in this culture. And I take responsibility. I'm far from perfect, and I know I'm laughing about it, but like yesterday was quite a deep one. For me, every now and then I just realize my ignorance, or like, because when I have these deep, transcendent, mystical experiences, it's easy to assume, like, when I realize that I'm God and I've been dreaming the whole time, and so are you, so I'm not saying that I'm on a pedestal, and when it comes to the spiritual and metaphysical topics, it's so tricky with how other people are going to perceive it, and how, because it's dangerous conversations as well. But like the way it happened is I was just going through life the same as everyone else, the same way it kind of happened to Mr. Nature. But I think who I'd done a podcast with, by the way, go check that out, a few of them. But it's like I'm just going through my life. Look, I'm going through secondary school. You know, I'm getting girlfriends. Fucking, I'm playing this game. Just growing up, maturing. Started like working out a bit with my dad in the gym, whatever, you know, just normal human shit. And then I just discovered this fucking plant, and when you take it, like, everything vibrates for like 6 hours, and you literally, like, even just the visuals, it's like, it took my fucking life away. But they're healthy. It's not like psychedelics are not like, well, they can be healthy. They are physically healthy, and you can't physically die on them, unless you do it to yourself, which a friend of mine actually did, which I made a video about. And I was in the midst of this sort of paradigm with him. He was like the only one who understood, as far as I was aware. So a lot of what I'm speaking on here is how me and my friend, like, we both got super deep into psychedelia, and I had trips where I, like, knew I had to kill myself, supposedly. They're on my channel. I worked really hard on this main video here. It's on 7 gram extreme bad mushroom trip report. Go check this fucking video out, mate, because I put a lot of time into this, and it was like absolute terror, full blast, and I knew I had to kill myself, and I've spoke about this quite extensively, but I didn't kill myself because I was fucking paralyzed, and that happened to me twice, like the full blast way, and then my friend actually did kill himself. I don't believe it was in the same way. I believe he Like, the last thing he said is, when I do this, I will become me. It's like he thought that he had some, like, spiritual insight. Or maybe he did. I don't, and I would never advocate he take his life, but it wouldn't surprise me, if he did have, you know, some form of spiritual, insight. So, like, because I've been in states, the biggest dose I ever took, and really likely the most profound trip I've ever had, was 12 grams of Liberty psilocybin magic mushrooms, dry. I took them outside, I smoked some weed as well, and many things happened. I had a few trips that proved to me that I do not have control in the big doses, in the big dose ranges, or at least I didn't, which I'd experienced in the past, but I thought I'd matured. So if you think that you've hit psychedelics on the head, and like you can do them in all sorts of settings, and you know you've done, I'd had, like, what have I done now, 130, 140 fucking magic mushroom trips, quite a few LSD trips as well, tested always, unless you're a stupid geezer, kind of. Yeah, don't take street acid. Um, so yeah, I thought I was like completely the bollocks, and I'd like solved, mushrooms ever being a challenge for me. Um, but then I had a few trips. I made the trip report on the 12-gram trip report, and that's a lot of what I'm critical about today, is the way that I'm speaking and the way that I go about my content. But I've always kind of been like this in terms of, I reflect, like, subconsciously. I think my videos are fucking embarrassing, and when I actually watch them, I struggle to find any, like, what I'm actually criticizing, in my subconscious. Like, when I actually go to the video, like, yeah, there are flaws, and obviously I'm always maturing and growing, but I have a lot of hate toward, and a lot of, like, kind of like cringe towards, like, most of my content in a way. And I think a lot of that is because, to come full circle with what I was saying earlier, is that you can literally be a fat piece of shit, and you can smoke 5 MEO DMT or take 7 grams of mushrooms, and you will meet nameless, like the ever present vibrating energy that is God. There is, non existence does not exist. Awakening is going through the process of, like, remembering what you forgot. And we've been doing this forever. We go around in circles, the universe goes around in circles, and you may have noticed this if you look up at the sky. I robbed that from Alan Watts. He says, like, that's what we're doing metaphysically, existentially. We're going around in circles, God's playing games with itself. And just like the planets and the solar system is going around in circles. So you realize that you was God all along, and ultimately you were playing with self-deception, and with infinite power and sense perceptions, you were creating a grand illusion. Uh, and when you remember, and you're like, how the fuck did I ever forget? Um, right. But this is all, like, awakening seems to be like on a literally a separate plane nearly from the relative plane. So what I'm telling you is, I think it took me a fucking while to make this distinction. I went off the deep end, which the deep end, by the way, is a kind of a name that I want to coin nearly. I've been, oh, fucking hell, I'm falling away. I've been working on a lot of names and kind of catchy names and rebrands, but obviously Psychodonis being one. Jailbreak the Matrix, or Jailbreak Reality, is a deep one. Obviously Jailbreak returning in, referring to jailbreaking, like, iPhones or Android phones. I'll leave that one to you, but contemplate that, because it's quite deep. I think Leo Gura speaks on this also. I actually kind of stole it from him a bit. So, like, basically, I've been taking psychedelics full blast, and I like literally basically I got into personal development when I was really young. It was always an intuition for me, and YouTube. I spent a lot of time on YouTube at my computer and things, likely because of like my nervous system like, I mean, like the house that I was at during that time. Yeah, I was not like a even when I was like super young, I was cutting myself, which I know is stupid, um, and I'm trying to like I wish that I can have another chance at like life, because I did like completely burn everything, um, because psychedelic abuse is a one-way ticket to karmic reckoning, as Vivek would say. So this is my first YouTube channel, Reactive Witch, 8 years ago. So I'm still very young, because this was me 7 years ago. I was spinning in the center of the universe as the oneness that I am for eternity. God realized, pure infinite Godhead forever. Oh, never mind. And then I tricked myself into thinking I was this fucking ego.
My Instagram's gone or whatever, and I can't stay up to date with a lot of the things.
Bro, my eyes, man. I got fucking them circles under my eyes like that. That's heavy metals.
I'm not on this channel.
Alright, maybe it don't look that bad.
The password for my channel, so I'm just.
But yeah, I don't know why I'm like staying on there. 1 second. But yeah, I was cutting myself at that age. Swear down. And like my one of my teachers say, they like told my parents that my parents, or my dad's side kind of, and my stepmom supposedly told my teacher that I was just doing it for attention, which fair enough. I was doing it for attention, actually. I wanted people to know in a way, but I didn't know what I was fucking doing. I was like fucking 12. And like some people thought it was kind of cool, and I kind of caught onto that thing. So I don't know if that was like the worst mistake of my life, because let me tell you, mental health is not fucking cool. And when it actually gets going and you are in the midst of it, it's not fucking cool. I can tell you that. So be careful about like entertaining these ideas when you're younger, because of like social media and stupid shit. I don't know, mental health is kind of cool in a way. I don't know, not in that same way, but no, it's really not in the deep moments. But anyway, so yeah, I was like cutting myself because like, yeah, my stepsister, who was in the same house as me, is also cutting herself, and she announced this on Instagram and was like, yes, I have scars, but everyone has their own way of dealing with things. I literally remember the exact caption, and then my mate showed me that, and he was like, bruv, this is deep, bro. And I was like, damn. And then I was like, this is causing some drama and attention and stuff. So I was actually faking it at one point. I'm such a dickhead, man. So I mean, I just got rid, like, I don't know where I've been or who the fuck I really am, which is a lot of, like, where I look at my past, I look at my channel, I think about what I've said and who I've been, and I just don't know what the fuck to think anymore. I know this is a long time ago, but yeah, I did want people to know, because I didn't know, I guess I didn't really know, like, alright, so, am I just simply attention seeking, and I'm being some, like, full-blown degenerate? Yes, but also, like, there's going to be a lot more factors, like, when I'm that young, there's something, like, about the innocence, you know, like, what the fuck where are these influences coming from, and, like, why do I want attention, you know, why am I attention seeking, why, like, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I just should have been, like, more, like, masculine and traditional and stoic, and, like, stop being a degenerate, and, like, stop crying, and I'm still, like, I don't know how long it's gonna fucking take for me to, like, overcome my bullshit, because I've, like, I realized a lot of things about, like, I need to be better about myself, and then I, like, continue to sit here on my phone, and I'm like, fuck, man. If I don't do it, no one's gonna fucking do it for me. And that's what I'm speaking of. It's like you can achieve enlightenment and God consciousness. Like, you know, Mr. Nature. Check out my video. I got a 2-hour video of me and Mr. Nature sat at this desk, and we're on Instagram Live together, and we are chatting about the nature of reality and what the predicament is. I often play devil's advocate and challenge Mr. Nature because he just speaks about oneness, infinite love, everything's perfect, everything's just the body of God, everything's done, there's nothing to do, infinite bliss, Yogananda, you know, just real yoga. If you've seen Leo's video on real yoga, fucking, and it's like, and I experienced it on LSD a lot of times actually. So like I had LSD experiences in the past. That was my first psychedelic experience was LSD when I was 16. I didn't actually test that, which is very fucking foolish. Be careful. Honestly, it's not worth it. I've done that a few times. Even not that long ago, and that's what I'm saying. It's like not that long ago, I dropped a fucking pill that I was told by a, like, he's a good mate of mine. Like, we don't really meet, we don't have much in common. Like, I'm not foolish enough to just like take people's word for it. I don't hate this guy at all. Like, I actually really like this guy. He does a lot of favors for me. He's a good old boy overall. He's never fucked me about, and I like him. Like, he's different from me in terms of like he doesn't really give a fuck about like the spirituality an awful lot as much as I do. He has like a radically different diet from me, and he doesn't really seem to give a fuck, and he's much more about like raving and, you know. So obviously with my spiritual lifestyle, etc., in a sense I do draw that boundary, and like I literally lost like everyone in my life at one point in a way, because like I was drawing a line of like, I see how everyone lives and I'm like, I don't want to be like that. But then, that's all good as long as you're actually going to change. But I didn't, really. I was the personal development channel that never personal developed. Because I started personal development, like I said, I'd always been interested in it. Like I said, that was me when I was growing up in it. And then look, be back soon. This video is going, hey guys, I haven't posted, I got bigger things on my mind right now, and that's 7 years ago. I literally am like fucking 0 years old, bro, and I'm oh, I got the same trim as then. That's funny. Which is another thing, I just look a mess half the time. Yeah, and I found personal development on YouTube and things. Like Jordan Peterson, of course, are like some of the front faces back in the day on YouTube, telling you how to get your life together and things. And I always had this voice, like, and Alan Watts speaks of this as well, like, why is there the voice that tells you need to improve? Alan Watts has a more like a let go, you know, the Tao Te Ching, or like go with the Tao, or the Tao, however you say it. If you know Mr. Nature and Miss Sunshine, his girlfriend as well, they're of the same kind of boat, in the sense of go with the flow, go with the Tao, don't like swim upstream, just like. But then I saw a quote that says dead fish go with the flow, and Mr. Nature isn't stupid. I should have gave him more credit. Like, he's not literally just like, yeah, blissed out, bro, everything's one, everything's infinite love, like, but at the same time he kind of is. But then, like, he also recognizes the relative plane, and he was one of the people to tell me this. He actually, thank you very much, Mr. Nature, you do embody love. Like, he just tells me to love everything because everything's me, and I know this is true. And he accepts me, and I know he accepts me, and he's got time for me, and he talks to me, and helps me, and he does have genuine wisdom. He is receiving downloads genuinely, and he takes LSD. He took LSD for 6 months before, which is likely why he speaks like this. And he always has LSD. Also, he told me, which I wish I did. So I took LSD 3 days in a row, and I was at what he calls the 0 point. If you know Illuminati Congo, he speaks of this also. The 0 point is like the eternal now, like the actual, like, basically physical qualia immediately, all that there is, and that's the 0 point. And I said to myself not long ago, all I'm ever gonna have to stomach is the 0 point, and the 0 point is see, but that's all good, and that is liberation, but at the same time, Ramana Maharshi went down that kind of road, in a sense, and he died slowly in a cave due to cancer. So you can be in, like when Conor Murphy, this is very important, when Conor Murphy reached his, like, sporadic enlightenment fucking psychosis, which is very similar to what I went to in a lot of ways. So if you want to understand me in a lot of ways, understand Conor Murphy. I know a lot of people hate on him, and to be honest, these days I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But it's deep, man. What happened to Conor Murphy is fucking real, and he was not really wrong in a sense. He was going through life, he took the psychedelic potion, and he never went back. And I will never go back. To an extent, but sometimes parts of me come back, and that's what happened yesterday, and that's a lot of the attitude that I'm speaking at this video of, is psychedelic enlightenment and God realization and all that is all good, but at the same time, I still very much need to focus on my ground life as a human, especially as a young man, and maybe everything is eternally mine always, and I'm just tricking myself, and it doesn't matter if I eat the junk food because everything is infinite love. And right, fair enough, but I know I will get there in the end. I mean, after death, I will enter the Godhead, potentially. The Godhead, I will arrive at the Godhead once again in time, and so will you, of course. I know this. I am this. Okay. I will enter the Godhead again. In the future. Or in the now. But in the now, in the future. In the future now, I will enter the Godhead. Alright. And this is obviously absolute truth. And there's no denying that one. We are already at the Godhead now. That's the thing. And I realised that the other day. It's like I've been waiting, like, oh, please. Because like a part of me seeks closure in a deep way. Where, like, when I started to realise infinite love, and, like, the pinnacle of wishful thinking. See Alan Watts' Alan Watts' Joyous Cosmology on Google Podcast by Being in the Way. It really pushes the limits of wishful thinking. And that's what psychedelics can do. It's like Mr. Traumatic has this lyric, every single thing you ever wanted will be yours, it's when you realise it's nothing you acquire. I'm telling you the truth, I'm not a liar. Everything I do is to inspire. Anything is possible, everything is energy, you need to raise your frequencies and elevate them higher. I'm resonating on a higher level. Everybody is a god, I'm nothing special. I'm just raw consciousness, temporarily residing in a human vessel. I've been studying the algorithmic overlays, the way the universe works is really mystical. All the energy you're putting out, it comes back to you, so don't be horrible and egotistical. Oh, what's meant to be is meant to be. The universe works in some very strange ways. A metamorphosis is what I'm going through. I'm really changing, I'm not going through a phase. I'm doing breath work, I'm doing meditation every day. I'm doing sun gazing some days. I'm absorbing all the protons of light. My third eye is activated by the sun's rays. Sometimes you gotta hurt in order to know. Sometimes you gotta fall in order to grow. Sometimes you gotta lose in order to gain, because the best life lessons are learned through pain. Sometimes you gotta cry in order to feel. Sometimes you gotta break in order to heal. We're living in a holographic simulation. Sometimes life's like a dream, it doesn't feel real. Wow, feel real, it doesn't feel real. Sometimes life's like a dream, it doesn't feel real. Feel real, it doesn't feel real. Sometimes life's like a dream, it doesn't feel real. But yeah, I think what I'm saying overall, in a lot of ways, solipsism as well. Recently, again, if you're familiar with Leo Gura, it's like that's one of the things that fucked me up a bit as well. Is because I had a solipsism breakthrough where the whole world became my body. That was on 12 grams, and there was no other anymore. And I was hallucinating so much that I can't describe it to you. I literally like played a song with my mind from my phone, and it was like the perfect song, and it started at the chorus that had meaning towards what had just happened to me, and that was synchronicity. I was also turning a torch on and off with my mind, also I was directly conscious of, also I thought. But it's such a fucking trick, man. It's like, I don't know, like, yeah, right. So it's basically, I don't want to do a disservice to the psychedelics, right? I was nearly kind of at the brink, but not really, because I promised I wouldn't, of deleting all of my fucking content nearly, right? I'm not going to do that, because I want to help anyone who might be in a similar situation, or was in a similar situation like me. If you resonate with what I've been going through, especially with the psychedelics, like, I don't inherently want to be this psychedelic, like, enlightened person and stuff, but I can't unsee what I've seen anymore. So, like, when I hopped on here, I wasn't planning to go on, like, a fucking super sporadic metaphysical rant, but I can't, like, I've seen absolute truth multiple times, and I can't really come back from that. So, like, I want to, I might make, like, a different channel and just, like, focus on grounded personal development for a while, because if I can do that, merge the psychedelics with the Adonis, not Jeffrey, which is who I am now, Adonis, and become Psychodonis, and this is the key. So I think I'm gonna be focusing a lot more on the relative plane for a while. I'm gonna be busy, that's for sure. I've got a lot to do. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of deep introspection, and honestly, I swear, from the core of my heart, regardless of everything I said earlier in this video, I don't know who the fuck I am anymore. Growing up, liked Rubik's Cubes, liked video games. My parents split up. I liked Minecraft, I liked Plants vs Zombies, I liked Five Nights at Freddy's. I did. I still do to an extent. You know. And then just maybe part of it would be because here's direct evidence. Here's stepmom. Here is some fucking ultra fucking, what even is that, bruv? I mean I know that was, I imagine I literally ate. I mean I know that's my choice, but I mean I'm like a kid. There's like a HP sauce, like a whole spoon of HP sauce. I know that's my fault, but with this stupid mentality that I have in the house around me, and I'm not hating, but it's like, how did no one learn that that's just sort of retarded, bruv? Like, when I was way younger, like probably half that age, I remember I was brushing my teeth with like my siblings and my cousins, and just to make them laugh, I like swallowed the toothpaste. Bruv, you can't swallow toothpaste. It's got like major chemicals in there, and that will literally just fuck up my development. So yeah, I'm hoping to basically, I'm willing to ditch everything that I thought I knew who I was. I need to prove that I can be someone of value. Like, I'll tell you what motivates me the most in a lot of ways. Not that. That's not what I intended, and that needs to go as well. I'm gonna end up like Hamza, where Hamza tells you about some of the ways he used to live. The personal development channels. Oh, I got a comment actually that I need to. But yeah, Hamza says often, like before, like he woke up. What the fuck is wrong with YouTube, bruv? I did not upload that. OXSN solves Rubik's Cube 2017. It does it by itself, G. I swear down. It's weird. Oh, those ones are fucked as well. They were old ones. That was before I was a pro. There's Adonislet with the psychedelics. What Hamza forgot, the missing link. yeah, what motivates me? Yeah, what Hamza was saying is like he used to wake up and go have a shit first thing in the morning, and then watch porn while he was having a shit, and then masturbate, and then and he'd used to like, and not like I wouldn't do that. Like everyone has their own. But I'm nowhere near as like, trust me, bro. It's like the way that a lot of young men live in this day and age is God, my chin does not look good from that angle. Is like when I was growing up and that, I always had like moldy fucking cups in my room. Like I'd like eat a pot noodle and then just leave it there for ages. And like, bro, and that's yeah. So like, again with that video I just showed you, I'm in this household. We got HP sauce, we got pot noodles. I got a picture of me at like 11 years old drinking a Monster Energy drink, sat at my fucking desk getting that EMF radiation, and then I'm wondering why I'm fucking having like symptoms. But yeah, what motivates me a lot and who I want to be of service to in a lot of ways is I don't want to just awaken and be selfish. God, my fucking chin looks bad, man. See, that's what I noticed is that I was looking in the mirror and I started developing these bags under my eyes. I'm happy I lost my job, yeah, because I'm fucking tired of living like a fucking rat race cunt, and I actually fucking over the about 6 month period, likely, or since the beginning of this year, about 6 months, yeah, I started drinking coffee quite a bit, the freeze-dried coffee, unfortunately, instead of the real coffee beans. I imagine freeze-dried shit is not very good. That's what Mr. Nature told me. Coffee inherently is not. I love coffee, to be honest. If I could get some super organic coffee, like proper beans and a machine and everything, then I would love it. I'm actually going through a detox now. Today was going to be detox day 1, but I did smoke my final bit of weed. I no longer am going to be pursuing weed, which I have been, by the way, so I did smoke a bit this morning. I've been smoking Cali packs and the highest quality weed I've ever smoked for this much amount of time. Basically, all summer I've been smoking Cali packs and flavors, full blast, in the sun, in nature, and on mushrooms a lot. So I've been abusing weed more than I ever have in my whole life, which I've just stopped now, basically. Coffee I've just stopped for about 2 days. So yeah, I was drinking the organic freeze-dried coffee. I made the switch because the non-organic coffee was fucking me up sometimes. So I made the switch, and I would have organic honey with organic coffees. Organic, even though it's freeze-dried, so how the fuck is it organic? It's not. It's been through a process of... That's not already organic, is it? That's what you got to like. Use your discernment, bro. Don't let the shop just put organic on the packet. Look at what Traumatic has this lyric that he just said. What's it? What you see is what you get. It's no disguise. And it sounds stupid that he goes on. When I close my eyes, I'm seeing sacred visions. How does the lyric actually go normally?
Coding.
I'm an introvert, that's why I don't socialise. Everyone is parasitic, so it's no surprise. I don't believe in gossip, it's a load of lies. What you see is what you get, it's no disguise.
When I close my eyes, I'm seeing sacred visions. The only reason I make music is to make them listen. Everything I say is original, no plagiarism.
Oh. Bro, was I even recording that? I don't know if I just fucked up the recording. But yeah, what you see is what you get. So don't look at the organic sticker and go, oh yeah. Just look at it. It's exactly what it is now. You can tell what it is. You know if it's good or not. Your intuition's all knowing. Teach him. Somebody show him. I'm bending when the wind's blowing. I'll be on the mountain top when it's snowing. I don't smoke weed no more. I quit it now. I'm seeing so clear. This mass awakening is taking place right now. The beginning is near. We're infinite beings of light, so don't be scared. There's nothing to fear. When you break through on DMT, you see the entities cheer. Alright. Look. So yeah. I'm going for a detox now. So, OXSN 2024 I think is going to be big news. Or Truth Till I Die, or Scila, or whoever I am, Baron Davidson. So I'm not going to delete any of my videos in the past because I want to be able to help anyone who's going through fucking psychedelic psychosis or awakening schizophrenia shit, because it is dangerous in that state of mind, I promise. You're right, but you're also wrong in a lot of ways. I know it's very hard to understand, but you did it to yourself and you're just acting, so shut the fuck up and go with the flow. Alright, I don't know everything, but I also do. I exist and I don't. I'm alive. Yeah, that's what I had. Yeah, alright, so when I took 12 grams, I literally realised that I never existed. And that's what LSD does. It's like, yeah, Terence McKenna spoke. If anyone who like really, I love listening to the public intellectuals. Super, not because I'm just fucking sad and watch YouTube all day. Often I do it while I'm at work, and I kill two birds with one stone by earning money and getting educated at the same time, which some jobs don't offer. But sometimes they say like a conversation. There's a podcast between Terence McKenna and Ram Dass. There's also a podcast or a phone call between Conor Murphy and Leo Gura. And that is so interesting to me, and it helps my mind, my framework of the world. And yeah, so Terence McKenna said that he hears of LSD as like higher states of unity, higher consciousness. He goes, well, I'm not interested in that. I don't know what the fuck he's interested in. I love Terence McKenna. I listened to him for a long time as well. But yeah, this the LSD and this higher unity, it's like when I take LSD, it's like I'm not even there anymore. Everything is just unity, love, unity, and it's like some higher order where like I clearly realize that like I don't know. It's just higher consciousness. LSD just seems like higher consciousness. I made 2 talks on my channel. Speaking while I was on LSD recently, in this like unity. Yeah, if you want to hear more about that, then go search OXSN LSD. I made a few. That one is just a random talk. It's not really too brilliant, and that one's the same. That one's probably better. Don't know. They're both pretty sporadic and random. Not much order, which is what I really want to improve on. That was me and Mr. Nature. And yeah, psychedelics just make you so much more like open to a lot of things. Like I thought a fucking balloon was a UFO, but I know it was a UFO in the present moment. But like, so that's the thing. It's like I know it's a UFO, yeah, and then I come down and then it's like, oh, it was a balloon. Or I know that I'm like turning the torch on and off with my mind, but then it turns out it was actually just running out of charge. And it's like just like stuck between nothing's real and realistic, mess around in the 3rd dimension but still a mystic. That is my fucking slogan. I'm going to show you a comment about Hamza in a second from a spiritual person. But also, so I uploaded this, like Health is Wealth, and I brought a shit ton of supplements from Holland and Barrett's and like Lion's Mane, which I've just ran out of, and I don't really have money to get more because I lost my job. And that's the stupid thing about losing your job, is you can't afford to lose your job. So if you want to have a healthier brain, like, and that's the thing, psychedelics are also like awakening is also can be very linked to your physiology in terms of like I don't want to just be awake in a rotting, like I want to be an actualized human with like spiritual wisdom. I don't want to just be, because awakening is like the absolute. It's behind the form in a sense. It's like absolute truths are absolutely true regardless of form or state or anything. They're always true. Infinite love is always true. Infinite consciousness is always true. Infinite God is always true, regardless of the circumstance. And a desire for these truths and to remember your ultimate nature, yeah, that's why I got drawn into it, because I was having genuine awakenings. But I'll tell you what happened. It's like I almost forgot that the relative plane is here. Like that's literally what fucking happened. It's like, and that's what happened kind of to Ramana Maharshi and Conor Murphy. When Conor Murphy had his awakening and stuff, he stopped caring about what he was eating. He said, I just eat whatever I want right now. And that's what I have done in a sense. It's like you reach God consciousness so much and then you come down, and the idea of you wanting to eat some like chocolate and then saying, no, I can't eat that chocolate because if I eat that chocolate, then I will be less of a attractive and I'll have less testosterone. Like, literally realizing that you created fucking everything with infinite mind from the beginning of time, and you were infinitely powerful and the infinite singularity of fucking infinite gods. And then you come down from the trip and you go to the cupboard and a voice telling you that you shouldn't eat like bread or chocolate or junk food, which I'm quite extreme. I would deem bread junk food, which they are, like ultra processed foods. Like a lot of people, for example, Adeptus Psychonautica, who I got on the podcast, Josie Kins, who I did not get on the podcast. I'd love to. I need to change the thumbnail as well, and this is part of it. Like I made basically Adeptus Psychonautica requested that I change the thumbnail for the podcast that we did together, and I never did because I'm just being lazy and abusing weed and stuff. And that's what's getting to me. It's like I can be awake in it, but like why am I not like being sincere? Or like I can have awakenings and stuff, but then like I'll just be selfish in other ways afterwards. And I think what it is I didn't know I was in denial for such a long time. Like the idea that actually I'm a fucking loser and a degenerate and I need to improve, but also I'm not. I know I'm enough and I know I'm love, and but that's the thing, is to like I've been learning so much over the past 2 years, and it's been, the reason it's hurt so much is because I've changed. Like maybe that's what I went through this like just as I really started to awaken a lot, full blast, at the beginning of my channel, which was actually 2 years ago the other day. I uploaded my Wage Slave Awakening, which was the first video I really did of the awakening nature, a year ago the other day. 2 years ago the other day. And yeah, it's like I started to awaken super deeply. It was like my second round of magic mushroom abuse. I like to use them a lot because check out like Leo Guru's outrageous experiments in consciousness, where he took 5-MeO DMT every day for 30 days at like a solo retreat. That is how you really learn who you are. You fucking literally but I'm not recommending that for everyone, and it is suicide. It's literally fucking suicide. Real spirituality is suicide. So if you found yourself waking up and now you're going down this awakening thing and the clock has started, it's suicide, whether you want to or not. Not physically, but you will realize that you were never here and that you was imagining everything the whole time. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't know. I was just a kid like everyone else. I got sucked into it. I can't go back. I can't drop it. Not the absolute truth. I can't drop the absolute truth. Because you can't. That's the nature of the absolute. And it all makes so much sense to anyone who's seen it. You know what I'm on about. But the point is I can continue talking about the absolute truth. But it doesn't mean I'm a good person. I made a video, just because you're spiritual doesn't mean you're a good person. So, yeah. I got drawn into spirituality because I fell in love with mystical vision. I fell in love with mystical experience at about the age of 16. No. 15? 16. Nah, yeah, it was 16. At the age of 16, I fell in love with mystical vision. I took LSD and I had my first mystical experience. A mystical psychedelic experience is like an expanding ocean of infinite love, of discovery, of learning, of remembering, of healing. of expanded consciousness. These plants were known as I swear down, if I fucking search DMT, doesn't it say on the front page of Google? N,N-dimethyltryptamine is a substituted tryptamine that occurs in many plants and animals, including humans, and which is both a derivative and structural analog of tryptamine. DMT is used as a psychedelic drug and prepared by various cultures for ritual purposes as an entheogen. What is the definition of entheogen? Entheogens are psychoactive substances that induce alterations in perception, mood, consciousness, cognition, or behavior for the purposes of enduring spiritual development or otherwise in sacred context. But yeah, I've heard, like, let me just search psychedelic on Google, because I was surprised by how I was expecting Google to be like proper establishment. And that's another thing, is that one of the main things that like sets me apart, like, I mean, that you might have a problem with me about, is the conspiracies. I re-listened to Leo Guru's episode on the sneaky psychology of conspiracies. He's not really a conspiracy geezer, so he is all about awakening, but not conspiracies, super loads inherently. How have I wasted the whole day? That is like the most depressing thing, when the whole day just disappears. But yeah, it's like, I don't, like, recently I've stopped listening to fucking Alex Jones. I know that's ridiculous, Alex Jones. I mean, I don't know, like, I big up all these people in a way, because, like, we've all made mistakes. I've been far from perfect in the past, and, like, I'm definitely on the side of, like, pro-conspiracy in terms of, like, I know that there's a lot of fuck shit. Like, the fact that psychedelics are illegal is all I need to know. But then obviously people like me are not giving them a good name inherently or like Vivek, who took them and ran down the street naked. I'm trying to get him on the podcast, by the way. We had a conversation about Leo Guru and that in the DMs. But yeah, I need to give a good name to psychedelics. I need to actualize myself to prove that I am super capable of being an actualized human along with psychedelic use. But yeah, psychedelic abuse is dangerous, very much. Like I said, one of my best friends killed himself on psychedelics, and me and him were both in spiritual psychosis. But that doesn't really exist. And he was actualizing, also he was doing jiu-jitsu, he was very disciplined, very strong. He changed his life. He used to have a lot of mental health issues though. So that's the thing. So yeah, what I said is, what I was going to say earlier is what inspires me heavily. One of my main inspirations is and there's me. Two of me, apparently. I don't know why I'm on here twice. I was on this podcast, the Bearsy podcast. I love Derek Bearsy. He's so cool. Check him out. He's a psychedelic YouTuber. Derek Bearsy. I've been on his podcast. And so is Psychedelic Actualization. So this is just on Google Podcast. These are the subscriptions. It's this community of people who are really trying to fucking advance humanity. I don't know what it is, but I need, like, purpose. I want to make like an impact. I want to like discover and help fucking amazing. I'll tell you what my main inspiration is right now. You want to fucking see what my main inspiration is right now? I've found this video after realizing infinite love on psychedelics. Imagine realizing infinite love on psychedelics, and then
Well, today is, of course,
coming down. Oh wait, no, I didn't even come down. I just turned on the TV, and this is by far one of my. This was so inspiring. Can you guess who it is? Oh shit.
We're gonna build. This is the first of 100 wells we're gonna build in this video. Oh, what
I built 100 wells in Africa.
I appreciate it, everybody. This village threw a welcome down 99 more. Kenya, obviously extremely sad. These children's lives are being limited and sometimes cut short to get their water, which is from the. And got really into it. No one's the most awkward person I've ever met, and that's a lot coming from me. And after being. Thank you for the welcome. How to react.
What good is spiritual awakening when I can go and build 100 wells in Africa? You know? So yeah. Obviously, I had a hunger because this world is confusing. Basically, what happened is just like I had a spiritual intuition from day one to an extent. But like as I got older and I had a lot of psychedelic trips, and like, eventually, like at the start of this year, I was just sitting there like in the present moment, just feeling the moment, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And like I couldn't stop doing that. I was just like, and I couldn't believe that this was here. And like even just walking around and seeing the birds fly and seeing the sun come out, that's what my mate, before he killed himself, he said he was on about, he said to me, there's literally like a fucking ball of fire in the sky. I see Joe Rogan say like the same thing, like it's like this world is fucking phenomenal. Someone else said at the end of like an Aubrey Marcus podcast, he's like, since psychedelics, like every time I see a rainbow, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Where's the short of him on about the sun? I don't know. But Joe Rogan's just going like, how the fuck is the sun? Like that's a bit crazy. Hopefully this video worked out properly. I don't know if I like paused it wrong at some point. But yeah, and then basically the mystery of the present moment, I couldn't get over it, and then like basically I didn't stop until I got the answers to the universe. And I've still got integration and lessons to learn, of course. I'm far from done and fully awakened, whatever that means. Even though I am. But yeah, it's basically when I look at my options, I'm just trying to be wise. What do I want to do in my life? I can create whatever I want, I can manifest whatever I desire. I know that's true. So what do I want? If I want to be a rapper, go do that. If you want to make content to fucking help the humans around you, etc. Maybe I could help the world to an extent that we could start to move towards more consistent spiritual festivals, and maybe this will slowly transform culture more. Maybe you can call somebody behind the scenes to inquire about the nature of psychedelics legality. Maybe you can be a testimonial. Maybe you can shut the fuck up and fucking prove with your physique and your circumstances that you are a capable being, and success is the only revenge. Because when I spoke earlier about I lost my job, I shouldn't even have to bend over backwards, because I could have lost my job, or I could have shut the fuck up and let my piece of shit, small dick, low testosterone boss talk to me like I'm a fucking retard, when actually he's just fucking brainwashed and he's got a calcified pineal gland, and he'll never see that because he doesn't know he's in denial. And neither did I, until now. And I'm probably still in the denial. But, look, I'm not going to fucking fail because I can't fail. I always knew I'd succeed from the beginning, kind of, but I just ended up falling into a trap almost where I realised who I was, a young man in this world, or so I tricked myself into thinking I was. And then I just built loads of anxiety, like, oh, I'm not going to be good enough, I need to succeed, I need to be good at, I need to cut out the bad habits, I need to earn £1 million, otherwise I'm just valueless. And to an extent that's true, but that is the contrast of Hamza and Alan Watts. So, I'm going to let the timer go to 11:11 now. Or should I do 11:10, because I think YouTube is like 1 second behind.
Wherever your station.
Andrew Huberman is very good as well. But yeah, it's tricky business. Alright, I love you. My name's OXSN, OXSN, I love you.